Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about Stanley Morgan Jr., the wide receiver out of Nebraska, in terms of his analytics profile. If you're new to the channel and new to the work that I do, all terms and definitions will be in the description. If all that stuff out of the way, let's get to his production profile. So first off, he had a 75.43 passing yardage market share production score. It doesn't hit the 5-time All-Pro or 3-time All-Pro area, but does hit above the 3-time Pro Bowl and long-term starter area. And when you look at the averages of the position, not exactly near the All-Pro average, Pro Bowl average, or starter average, but he is definitely very, very close to what the starter average is in terms of 81.45. So it's still a good profile in terms of the averages of the position. And when it comes to athleticism data, he was very good. He was one of the better testing wide receivers in terms of athleticism. He had an 84.81 explosion score, a 56.77 speed score, and an 85.36 flexibility score. When it comes to the wide receiver position, you really only need one 54 or higher athleticism score to reach high-quality outcomes. So you can have a great speed score, a great explosion score, a great flexibility score. In Morgan's case, he has a 54 or higher score in every category, in explosion, speed, and flexibility. So he's pretty much doing what he needs to do in terms of that. His speed score is a little below what the average is for All-Pro, Pro Bowl, and starter player is, but he definitely has that explosion and that flexibility testing to really help his overall athleticism profile. So it's a good profile. It's just the speed score is a little bit less than what the averages are for NFL wide receivers. And when you look at a production comparison, one player I picked out was Isaac Curtis, 76.54 in terms of his passing yards market share production score. If you're not familiar with Isaac Curtis, Google him. He's a very, very good wide receiver in the NFL, and I do think that Stanley Morgan Jr. has a chance to become a similar sort of player like him when you look at his overall production profile. And then, of course, in terms of athleticism comp, the best sort of player that I could find was Chris Moore from Cincinnati. Similar explosion testing, flexibility testing, and speed testing, but I will say that Chris Moore is not as productive as Stanley Morgan Jr. So that's the only sort of caveat to add in there, is that Stanley Morgan Jr. is a much more productive Chris Moore, who I do know that there were some people that are really, really excited about Chris Moore. Bottom line is, when it comes to Stanley Morgan Jr., this is a very, very good wide receiver profile. Stanley Morgan Jr. continues to be one of those wide receivers that I see mocked as in the top 20 of wide receivers or top 15. You rarely see him in the top 10 in terms of wide receiver. And I think just based on his overall data profile, he's a top 10 wide receiver. Now, is he the best wide receiver in the class? It's debatable. I do know there are big fans of him. I've been a big fan of him since his junior season at Nebraska. And even before that, sophomore season was also really great. So I really like him, and I think you should too. So check him out. Watch some film with him. Get to know him. And if your team drafts him, you should be excited, because this is someone who definitely has a chance to become a long-term starter, and could be even more if there's a little bit more to Stanley Morgan Jr. than meets the eye. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification bell in case you want to be reminded when another video of mine drops, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.